In this video, we're going to see which is best. In my opinion, the MJX Rally or the Rlaarlo Rally. We're going to be brutally honest and we're going to test them to the max. At the end of the video, if I could only have one of these cars, I'll tell you which one it is. Both cars side by side. MJX Rlaarlo, if you didn't already know. Now some might say this is an unfair test because this is 12 scale and this is 14 scale. But I say, whatever, the MJX can take the difference. It's only about half an inch shorter on wheelbase and the width is not much in it at all. Which has the best body is the first question. Well, for me, the MJX looks the best. I mean, it just looks absolutely amazing. The scale detail of this, the strength of this as well. For me, the way this body's put together is just a lot better. It feels a lot stronger than Rlaarlo. They've both had the same amount of bashing and, you know, they've been upside down, they've crashed. And this has not got a single crack on it. Still got the wing mirrors intact, all the lights are still intact. The way the light buckets are actually put into this car are just so much stronger than they are in the Ralo. Got a lot more points actually into the body and they just hold up a lot better. And as you can see, this body is scuffed and a little bit dirty, but not a single crack or damage to it. Really well made, really impressed. Obviously we do have the old-fashioned clips to put the body in, it's not clipless. The Rlaarlo body does look very nice, nice lines on it, but there's a few things that set it apart from this. Obviously we haven't got all the official licensing, which is fair enough, you know, you can't get that, but things like stickers on the windows rather than transparent windows makes a big difference for me. Just little details like this has got the little wipers on it, the washer wipers. This hasn't. The shape of it is not as true to the car as this one is, but the main thing for me that lets this body down to this body is that it's not held up as well. I've had to glue this light bucket down here, this has come away. As you can see, the actual screw straight through the body rather than into a plastic retainer, which the MJX has plastic retainers where the screws go into. This just screws into the body and that's already snapped. I've had to glue that down. Paint started to come away on this body as well in a few different places. The wing mirrors have fallen out. We're starting to get quite a few cracks on this car as well. Another crack here. So not a terrible body. I do like the fact that the light board is screwed into the body rather than taped, unlike the MJX. And I do like the clipless body on this as well. The way it goes into the chassis is really neat. You got your 2 points there, 2 points there, and your clips either side here. But I don't like the fact that you have to unclip 2 clips to take the body off from the chassis for the light, because these are already starting to come away from the board. So yeah, overall for me, the MJX body is far superior. The quality of the plastic used, the way that the light buckets have been put in, the way it looks, and it just fits the actual wheelbase and the chassis a lot nicer than the Rlaarlo does, and it's obviously a lot stronger as well. Both cars have full metal chassis. MJX, nothing special. You do have the Volkswagen sign which has been scraped off. As you can see, this car has been well used, but fully metal, nice and thick, and does the job. Rlaarlo's looks a little bit prettier, not as scuffed up as badly. Does seem to take the rough ground a little bit nicer, but very similar chassis. Both have 1.5 and 2mm hexes, which is a lot better than crosshead screws. Both have aluminium, coilover, fully adjustable oil-filled shocks. The Rlaarlo ones are slightly more travel on them, a little bit bigger, do work better on the rougher stuff. The MJX ones are a little bit short, but it does help with stability on this car and cornering and things like that. But both shocks are very adequate for this size model and both work particularly well. Both cars have CVDs on the front axles, which is nice to see. The MJX ones are noticeably thicker than they are on the Rlaarlo. The Rlaarlo just has dog bones on the rear, whereas the MJX has CVDs on the rear as well, which is really nice. So if you break an arm or something, you're not going to lose your dog bone. One thing that is interesting is even though the MJX is a shorter wheelbase, the actual width of the wheels is very similar. If I just touch the edge on this side, as you can see, it's only kind of like about 1/4 of an inch wider than the MJX. So there's not much in the actual width of the cars when it comes to the wheels. Both have 45 amp ESC. Both of them are non-programmable, although the MJX does have a set button and you can change your endpoints for your throttle and reverse and brake, which is really nice if you want to put a new receiver and transmitter in there. Both have gyros. The Rlaarlo is either off or on 20%. The MJX, you can change the gain of the gyro from 0 to 100%, which is for me definitely a positive, and that's what I would have liked to see on the Rlaarlo. I don't like the fact that it's either off or on 20%. I like to be able to adjust my gyro to the style of driving that I'm doing. Servos, very similar on both of these cars. Nothing amazing, but both do the job adequately. Controllers for both these cars. Now, on first glance, you would think, well, the Rlaarlo one is 1,000 times better. It just looks a lot nicer. But to be fair, in the hand, there's not actually that much in it. They feel very similar. Both have foam steering wheels. Both are very similar size. The MJX one will stand up on its own. The Rlaarlo one kind of falls over a little bit. Say the battery in the Rlaarlo is a lot better. It takes the 18650 and you can charge it from here. MJX, you can have it 50%, 75% and 100%. The Rlaarlo is either 75% or 100%. You do have a channel here as well where you can turn your lights on and off on the MJX. On the Rlaarlo, you do have a bespoke light button and the gyro button on there, but that is either on or off. So for me, yes, the Rlaarlo one does look nicer, but actually when using them, there's not really that much difference. Neither seem to have any issues with delay on throttle or anything like that when you're using the receiver. The MJX used to have that issue, but it seems to have been fixed with the new ESC. I don't like the automatic brake on the ESC on the Rlaarlo. I also don't like how high the brake setting is on this as well, and you can't change it. The MJX seems to be set absolutely fine. There doesn't seem to be any auto brake on it, and it brakes nicely down. The other feature I don't like on the Rlaarlo as well is the lights. You can turn the indicators off, but as soon as you switch the car off and then back on again, the indicators come back on, so it's a bit pointless. You know, like I say, you can turn them off. You also can change the settings on the lights because they're all over the place sometimes, but what I found is I'll set it exactly as I want. I'm running it after 10 minutes and then they change all back and the indicators come back on and stuff, so it's not ideal. MJX is a lot more simpler. You've got front lights, you've got rear lights, they stay on and that is it. There's no indicators or anything like that, it just works. I think Rlaarlo have overcomplicated their light system on this. I would just prefer to just have front lights, rear lights. I do like the exhaust light and just on, and the brake lights again come on when you accelerate and you have to change the buttons, but again it doesn't seem to hold that setting. It seems to revert back to it as soon as you switch the car on and off. So I've just left it. I've given up on the lights on Rlaarlo, just let it do what it wants. It was doing hazard lights the other day, so I don't know how that happened. But I did show him a video of this, the unboxing, how to do your lights and how to do the settings, so check that video if you want to know how. Motors on these cars are very similar. The MJX, you do get a fan on your motor, which is quite nice, and you get a heatsink on the Rlaarlo. A positive about the Rlaarlo is that you can adjust it quite a bit, so things you can adjust the toe in, the toe out, the steering angle, and you can adjust that on the rear and on the front as well, whereas with the MJX you can adjust the steering angle, but that's it, everything else is fixed. But again, for a little basher 112, 114 scale rally car, I'm not too fussed about all these settings on here. If you're going to race this or something like that, then yes, definitely those settings are good. The MJX comes as standard with plastic shock towers. Ralo has these nice 6061 metal shock towers, but again, if they get bent or damaged, don't hit back. The plastic ones on this are really not going to break. I mean, to be honest with you, with a rally car, even if you're bashing it about and upside down, it's very unlikely you're going to damage those types of components on this car. The steering on the Rlaarlo is much better. You have a fully adjustable servo saver built into the actual steering on the Ackerman, and it's partially metal, partially plastic, but it's a really nice, it's something you don't usually see on a car this small. I must say the steering is very direct on the Rlaarlo, and it's no wobble or anything like that. It works really nice. The Achilles heel on the MJX is the steering itself works absolutely fine, no issues at all, it's pretty smooth. But because of the way it's designed, you do get kind of rocks and stuff stuck under here, which can cause issues with the steering. It's happened to me a couple of times. Both cars will take 2S or 3S, and for the whole of the running of these cars, I'm going to be using 3S in both cars. The Rlaarlo does have a slipper clutch, does have a centre slipper clutch, a rear oil-filled diff and a front oil-filled diff. The MJX has front oil-filled diff and a rear oil-filled diff and then direct drive. Both have full metal drivetrains throughout. Both have metal drive cups. Obviously you do get a bit more advantage with having a slipper on this. You can adjust it to suit your style of driving or what you're running on. But for me, on this scale car, doesn't make a huge amount of difference, to be totally honest with you. Both have a centre brace. The MJX has a full aluminium brace all the way through it. The Rlaarlo has a metal brace up to the point of where the ESC sits, and it's a plastic brace. Both are braced and both are strengthened on the top of the chassis, which is always nice to see. Both cars, because they're rally cars, you're going to get bits flying in. But I have noticed on both these cars, it's not too bad actually. The MJX does come with a plastic cover, but I've taken that off. And the Rlaarlo is meant to be coming out with some fenders, what you can put onto the body. But we'll see if they come out and when they come out. And finally, another thing just to point out as well, both have bearings in, full bearings, but the MJX again surpasses the Rlaarlo. Has full seal bearings, rubber seal bearings. So if you're running this, as most of us do in the Northern Hemisphere, when it's going to rain, it's going to snow, we're going to have bad weather, the bearings are going to hold up a lot better in this car. In the Rlaarlo, they're just shielded bearings and not rubber seal bearings. Please, Rlaarlo, start putting seal bearings in your cars. All manufacturers should be putting seal bearings in. Shielded bearings are great if you're racing, if you're indoors, if you never get it dirty. But as soon as you get any dirt or moisture or water or mud, you know, your bearings are going to seize up pretty quickly. So I don't understand why Rlaarlo don't use seal bearings. The MJX has full seal bearings throughout, which is really nice to see. And then finally, tyres. And again, for me, MJX wins on the tyres. Both cars are more road orientated, although the MJX ones do work well off-road. They're a lot softer compound, that you can feel the foams in them. The Rlaarlo, I don't think they have foams in them, or if they do, they are very thin foams. But the compound on the MJX is a lot better, a lot grippier, and doesn't seem to be wearing down as much either as the Rlaarlo one is. I'm already getting a lot of wear on these tyres. The great thing about the MJX as well is you get 3 sets of tyres with this car. You get these, you get the block rally tyres, and you also get drifting tyres as well. Rlaarlo, you just get 1 set of tyres. I'd like to see an on-road and an off-road tyre at least to come with these Rlaarlo cars. For me, that would be ideal because these tyres are going to last 2 minutes. So there you have it. So for me, just to recap, the body on the MJX is a lot tougher, looks a lot nicer, much better detail. The light system in it and the light buckets and everything works a lot better, a lot simpler. The Rlaarlo clipless body system is fantastic, works really well, but the actual quality of the body they're using is not as good. I think the steering on the Rlaarlo is much better, and the suspension system is better as well on this car, especially on rougher stuff. You'll see later on in this video that this kind of just glides over those big bumps, so you know. But yeah, the Rlaarlo suspension probably is more superior, and definitely the steering system is more superior on the Rlaarlo. I think the electronics in the MJX are better. I think the ESC works better. I think electronics, the ESC is the most important thing, and for me the MJX works a lot better. Build quality, I think it's very even. I don't think there's much in it at all. Both cars are put together really nicely. Both cars are as equally hard to work on. The MJX is probably a little bit simpler. The Rlaarlos tend to be a little bit over-engineered, but do look very nice. But at the end of the day, if I only had a choice to have one of these cars, which one would it be? Well, I'm going to take these cars out and we're going to properly test these cars. This is where the real test starts. We've got both cars out and we've got some rough ground. But this is what rallying's about. This will be a real test for these 2 cars. Got a bit of very short brush grass, and then we've got some like hard dusty surface. Probably a little bit bumpy for these cars, but like I say, it'll be a true test of these cars. Let's start with the MJX. Now the only issue I've had with the MJX so far is that steering getting tied up with rocks and stuff, and there's quite a few rocks and bits here, but hopefully we'll be all right. But I tell you what, for such a small little car, it does so well. I mean, look at that go. It's kicking the dust up. I tell you what, it handles so well for such a small car. Just skips over the dust. Whoa. But you can proper full throttle it. Look at that go. Suspension could do with being a little bit longer on this car. It's the only thing that lets it down as well. It's a bit low to the ground, but I think that's one of the reasons as well why it controls so well as well. I mean, just look at it go. Awesome little car. It takes it as well. It's one thing I've noticed with this car. I've proper bashed it around and done stuff with it that you probably shouldn't do, but it takes it. I think we've got a stone. And this is the only thing that lets this car down, is the steering. Like I said in the previous video, there is a fix for this. Not just to hit it on the floor like that, which does work. But yeah, check out Derby RC. He's got a really cool fix for that. Could just get the upgraded metal steering, which would help. But look at this go, it's absolutely awesome. I mean, this size car shouldn't really take this kind of punishment, but it's taking it like a beauty. It just keeps going. Absolutely fantastic. Well, that's LVC. I'm having so much fun. That's one battery gone. Let's move on to the Rlaarlo. So in theory, the Rlaarlo should handle this terrain a lot better. Bloody indicators, do my head in. 1, 2, 3, turn off. Come on. Kind of does deal with the terrain a little bit better. The suspension's a little bit better on this, but it's kind of making it a little bit more bouncy. And it's jumping a little bit more, so in some ways, it's a little bit harder to control. Whoa, than the MJX is. So yeah, definitely enjoying the MJX more on this surface. I enjoyed the MJX more on a hard surface on the road. I probably like this more at the BMX track, to be honest with you. Being a bit bigger, did jump quite nicely. But yeah, it doesn't skip across the ground as well as the MJX does. And it definitely doesn't handle as well. Whoa. Spending far more time on its roof than the MJX was, which is weird because I thought with this being a little bit bigger and having a bit more travel on the suspension, it would do better, but whoa. And I have to say it, I have more fun with the MJX than this one, I think. Not to say that the Ralo is bad. Still a great little truck though. Whoa! And still great fun, don't get me wrong. Let's give it a rip. Yeah. Well, they both survived. Both hit LVC. Both completely epic, to be totally honest with you. Really hard to choose between them, but there has to be a winner, and there has to be one that if I could only have one of these cars, which one would it be? I'll tell you in a second. We've gone back all in one piece. No breakages, no damages, which is good. Cleaned up a little bit, so looking a little bit nicer. So which one is best and which one should you get? Well, I think if you can afford it, get both of them because they're great fun. But I'm not going to tell you which one is best because they both have the pros, they both have the cons, and everybody will have their own opinion. Very subjective. One thing I've not mentioned though is cost-wise. Both of these cars I would class maybe as budget. The Ralo is a little bit more pricey in my eyes, and I think they're creeping up a little bit with the price. The MJX is still great value. I mean, this you can get for, I think in the UK, it's about 130, 140 quid, which is absolutely fantastic. I think this in the UK is about 150, 160. And in the US, I think this is about $189. I think this, I'm sure you can get this for about $130, $140. Maybe wrong, but yeah, it's definitely better priced. But that is not why I'm gonna choose. The one I'm choosing, for me personally, is because it put the biggest smile on my face, because I like how it runs and I love how it looks, and that's got to be the MJX for me. I just think this car is absolutely awesome, and if I had to choose one of them, it would definitely be the MJX. Which one would you choose and why? Please down in the comments below. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Really does help the channel, and remember those thumbs up as well. I'll put links to both of these videos up here right now where you can see the unboxing and full review of each of these cars. Thank you so much for watching, and happy RCing.